Hi everybody, how are you? I just thought I should talk to you. It's been quite some time. You have had your classes, we have sat down and we have discussed your issues in different ways. And this video format is definitely very new to me. But nevertheless, I just thought I should talk to you guys. Not much time left for your examination. Today is 21st and 22nd of April. You just have about 1.5 months. If I take away the last couple of days or 1 week of preparation, where it's going to be maddening just to keep your sanity in place. So let me say it's about 1 month that you have actually with you. So I just thought I'd have a conversation with you and find out how you're feeling, how you're working, are you fine or not. I know most of you are not fine, of course. And I wish I could share all the messages that I get from you guys. All kinds of messages. You tell me you are scared, you tell me you want to run away, the anxiety factor, some of you are depressed. This morning I got 4 or 5 messages and they said about how they don't feel like studying anymore because they're not scoring as much in the test that they're giving. So you're going through an emotional phase, it's understandable. So fine, whatever it is, that's the reality, let's face it. So I just thought I'll sit down with you and have a small conversation. Okay, what can you do now? Now, one major question that I'm asked regularly is, how do we divide the time between the time for revising your class notes, revision of your current affairs material, revision of your synopsis and summaries you have made, and solving questions. And a question that keeps coming back to me is, solving question takes a lot of time. Can we stop solving question and focus on revision? So that's the question I'm trying to answer now. Now look beta, what is the purpose of the tests? What's the purpose of you trying to solve questions through tests? What's the purpose of you joining test series? I've said this repeatedly and it's been quite some time I've been talking to you now. Tests are not for testing your potential. Tests are just a way of helping you focus and study those things which you probably have skipped, and importantly, studying concepts in a different way where you probably thought you know the answers and the concepts, but the questions can always trap you. So the solving tests and trying to answer the tricky questions is not really apart from a revision. It's part of a revision. So if I'm given 2 or 3 questions to solve, I take time thinking on the questions, looking up the choices. I try to eliminate, I try to attempt some smart guesses. So I'm thinking, I'm processing, and that is study. And after having solved the question, you look up the answer. But don't trust the answer. Open the books, find out what the answer is, find out why some choices that you eliminated are not the right choices. Find out what was the statement which was confusing you. Find out what were the arguments you are missing. So when you're solving a test, you essentially are revising, and this time the revision is far more organized. There's a purposeful revision that you have. Your process is more focused and not simply randomly mugging up a fact. So please get this thing out of your head. The question solving takes time. It cuts into your revision, so you are better off not solving questions. No, I disagree with this. Question solving is must. Without solving questions, without getting yourself familiar to the question and answer format of preparation, you will have problems later on. So let's not compromise. And how long should you solve questions? Solve till as long as you can. In fact, you know what? If you're solving questions, your mind is so busy, so focused, it's very rare that you actually are distracted and you actually are depressed while you're solving questions. The depression that you talk about happens mostly after you have seen the answers. So the process of solving question keeps your mind busy. The process of thinking on the options and choices keeps your faculties engaged. You are listening, you are keeping track of your time, you're trying to scan. So all that definitely helps you rather than simply opening up the notes. The familiarity of your notes can actually bore you sometimes. You can go to sleep. So solving questions helps you focus better. Solving questions helps you revise better. Solving questions also helps you identify what are your weak links, what are the areas that you need to work on. So let's not compromise on this. Keep solving questions, I'll say if possible till the last 2 or 3 days. So maybe end of May, 1st of June, keep on doing the questions. One. The second question is, now this is a major concern from many of you, that you're scoring less and you're not feeling confident, and despite all the revisions, you still are not able to minimize your errors, and your scores not improving. Now my question to you is, when you say your marks are less and you're not improving, most of you share your scores, that I've got 20 out of 70 questions correct. I've got 30 out of 90 questions correct. But that's not the right assessment. When you say you've got 20 questions correct and probably others are wrong, find out 2 things. The questions that you think you are getting correct, are they really your confident choices, or just that you are lucky, you tried some guesses and you've got them right? And the questions that you did not attempt correctly, what was the reason there? Was it because you were making silly mistakes? Or is it because you read the question wrong, the question says not correct and you are reading correct? You probably are reading the choice B and marking the bubble on C. So find out the reasons why you're not scoring more. So your score of 30 out of 70 or 90 and 20 out of 60 or 70, it means nothing to me till you give me a good nice analysis. And that takes time. Because the fact is, if you are solving questions and attempting only those questions which you are confident about, you have no chance of qualifying. Bulk of the questions you'll have to attempt back in the examination are those questions which are 50-50, 60-40, touch and go. You probably are trying to relate things, and that's an art you have to perfect now. So don't be depressed about what scores you get. Have the courage, have the patience, have the intent of analyzing why the scores are what they are. Have time, spare some moments where you can sit down and start analyzing why certain type of questions you are repeatedly making mistakes on, and why some of the other questions you are pretty confident about. Without this analysis, okay, your scores don't really matter. So if you remember, in this Telegram wall, I have a letter of intent with you, shared with you. And in that, I had given you a small table. Find out how many correct, how many incorrect, and how many of those were confidently marked, how many of those were smart guesses. And do you have a tendency to go for blind guesses? Because blind guesses are the most dangerous ones. So analyze your scores. No point fretting about the low scores, no point worrying about low scores. Find where are you going wrong and try to work on it. Now the argument that you are working very hard and you are still not getting right kind of scores. See, if the reason for low score is you are having deficiencies in your concepts, the reasons for low score is the areas which you have not covered, the solution is go back and start reading on those. If you are getting low scores because you are consistently understanding the questions wrong, then go back and start focusing on how to read the questions with more focus. So more than the scores, what I am concerned about is what are you doing with your scores. Okay. So I don't think you should be so distressed and troubled, and anxiety is understandable. This is a huge examination for all of you. It's, for that matter, we all know it's a tough examination. It takes a lot to keep yourself motivated in the process. So I understand you are anxious, you are worried, you are scared, but it's just a mind thing. You can't keep saying you are scared and you can't shut down the books. You can't keep saying you're anxious, you don't feel like studying, and you end up shutting your books. Emotions apart, your sense of anxiety apart, you have to have a discipline. No matter what you think, no matter how good or bad you evaluate yourself, okay, have the intent, have the tenacity of not giving up. And for that, I have got no formula for you. I have got no magic potion. I don't have any trick up my sleeve. You will have to find ways to be in the race. And let me assure you on this, I mean, enough amount of trust that we have for one another here. I get such messages from so many of you. It's impossible there is somebody out there who says, I am confident of qualifying. In fact, that's a dangerous sign. Okay, it's actually bordering on some bit of overconfidence in that case. Okay, so don't trouble yourself so much, okay, into quitting the examination. And anxiety, you are scared, you are having all kind of negative thoughts. Okay, that's okay, it happens. And in fact, solving questions can definitely be a good way of keeping your mind distracted from negative thoughts. Okay, so analyze your scores. Okay, so don't worry about how it ultimately will pan up during the prelim examination when you actually go for it. For now, okay, don't give up. Keep up your efforts, and I'll talk to you more often. That's what my intent is. You all know I have been challenged with respect to technology, but I'm trying. At my age, at my stage of my career, if I can start experimenting with these tools, which I'm mortally scared about, I'm sure you guys are much better. You guys are far more smarter, far more focused. So I'm sure you can manage. Okay, so you keep studying, and I keep trying to talk to you, while you also keep me motivated. Okay, that I'm able to deliver and learn the process of shooting videos and posting online, right? So keep on working. And just a reminder, and this Sunday you will definitely have the second comprehensive test. We plan to have 100 questions this time, and I warned you, or rather alerted in the fact that we'll also try putting up a timer this time, so that you also race a bit against time. And all the questions we ask you will be from whatever tests we have conducted till now, starting from test number 1. Okay, we already at test number 23 and 24. So by the time the weekends, we probably will have had 28, 29 of them. So focus on these, and that's good amount of questions to work on. Okay, so all the best, keep working. You have my number, you have my email ID that I've shared with you, 9868424660, and my email ID on which you are contacting me is geog with Shabbir, Shabbir. You add 1, so it's geog with Shabbir1 at gmail.com. You also have a Google Sheet that we have shared on the Telegram wall. You also have that on the Facebook, where you can write down your doubts. We do take some time because it requires a lot of collating information, but we get back to you eventually on that, right? So catch you again. All the best. Nice talking to you. It was not pleasant getting myself ready for this moment, okay, but I will learn. Okay, so ciao, take care, good luck.